Okay, I tried learning 7 tricks in 7 days, but to be honest, I failed. I learned a bunch of stuff though. Let me explain. Do you ever feel like you're not making any progression? Do you ever feel like you're stuck doing the same tricks over and over again and you feel like you're not a real skate? Well, it happens to anyone. Usually such a period comes after having learned a bunch of new tricks. After a period of having learned new tricks, you should be getting more consistent at those tricks, and that does mean that you are learning, but it can feel like you are not because you're not learning any new tricks. Just please keep in mind, working on consistency is definitely making progression. Anyway, on May 16, I decided to not work on my consistency for an entire week, and it was time for me to learn some new movements on my skateboard. And to make sure I became dedicated to learning new tricks, I decided to challenge myself. I came up with this challenge that I call Learn 7 New Tricks in 7 Days. I failed. I did not learn 7 new skateboarding tricks in 7 days. I only learned 5. Surely, 7 new tricks would have been the ultimate result, but the true purpose of this challenge was to dedicate a certain amount of time to learning new skateboarding tricks every single day. And in this sense, I was winner, because even though I did not complete the challenge, I did dedicate 1 to 3 hours every single day for 7 days to learning new skateboarding tricks. And if I would have been too focused on strictly learning exactly 7 tricks in 7 days, that would have possibly even demotivated me because I didn't learn a new trick on the second day. And if I decided on that day that I failed the challenge there, I would have never practiced tricks on the other 5 days. So the takeaway here is that you shouldn't only focus on the end result, but focus on the process, which was dedicating 7 days to learning new skate tricks. Alright, so day 1, May 16, 2020, a nice summer day. It was quite hot, quite busy at the skate park. The skate park had just reopened after being closed down because of the lockdown measurements. Primary and high schools were still completely closed, which did make this not the perfect timing for starting this challenge because all of the skate parks were a bit more busy than usual. I think people picked up on skateboarding because of the lockdown. But you know, it's never really the right time for starting anything, so I started this day with a lot of motivation and I decided to try this trick combination, frontside Smith to rock revert in. To be honest, I didn't really know the exact name of this trick, but I'm calling it the frontside Smith to rock revert. Before I even knew it, this trick of this challenge was completed. On this day there was a good session at the park. You aren't always aware of this, but it can make the biggest difference if there are energized hype skaters at the park. If you notice this, I recommend staying at the park for longer because it can be quite rare. Anyway, I felt that this was the case on this day and a buddy of mine showed me the exact same combination of this trick, only starting with a backside Smith. So I decided to give that trick a couple tries as well. Need a little bit of commitment, but then I landed this trick too. Definitely not the most difficult trick. This trick is a combination of tricks that I was already able to do, so that's why it was rather easy to land, but it was new, so I started this day off with 2 new tricks in the pocket. Was most happy with the frontside Smith through Rockstall one because I think that one looks quite stylish. Later during the session, I thought I could have even added another trick. Tried to backside 360 the spine, but this was a little bit too much, so I didn't land that one. On the second day, the Oosterpark skatepark was simply too busy to learn new tricks. This is something that I really started noticing during this challenge. The less people there are at the park, the more runs I can have in the bowl and the more times I can practice a trick. And this day I decided to skate the Marnix bowl. Didn't really learn any new tricks here, but I did learn about the importance of a non-crowded skate park. And it's funny because usually when I'm going to the skate park for a nice skate session, I wouldn't really care too much about a crowded skate park. But since I was so focused on learning new tricks every time I went to the skate park, just a couple people too many could really ruin the learning vibe. And that's why on day 3 I prepared myself to go to the skate park early. Alright, that's the emptiness we like for learning tricks. I would go out to the skate park earlier than anyone else, except there were others that had the same idea. Usually earlier during the day, kids and beginners visit the park, which ruined my plan. Anyway, I didn't want to give up yet. I decided to go back closer to the evening, and to my surprise there were others, but I knew a couple of them, and this turned out into an awesome session. A friend of mine was there with his cinematic camera, which meant I had to commit to learning something new, because he got it on video. And to my surprise, I landed the backside 360 melon over the spine. I was so hyped about that because I really didn't expect to commit to this trick on this day, but I did get it. Day 4, nothing. I did go to the skate park, I did practice skate tricks, but I couldn't think of a trick that I was able to land. Perhaps I need to readjust my skate trick learning list. Ended up getting nothing on this day. But then day 5 came. Day 5 I had 3 new tricks in the pocket, so things were almost according to plan. I needed to step it up and get 2 tricks today. I decided to go for a morning session yet again. My body was feeling a bit tired. I honestly think a rest day on this day would have been good for the progression, but unfortunately a hyped skating vibe wasn't there at all. It was kid playtime hours, so I left. At the end of the day I decided to still go for it and put a little bit of effort into this challenge, and I visited this spot known as the Nederlandse Bank. We've got perfect ledges there, and previously I'd been practicing frontside tail slides, flip outs on this ledge. I think I've already tried it for 8 days. Kind of given up on it though, but I thought maybe this could be the day and then could use a trick for this challenge. Turned out to be a great idea because after some very intense 2-hour session, I landed this trick for the first time ever. Not the cleanest looking tail slide flip out, but it's the first one I ever did, so I was very satisfied with the progress of this day.
Yeah. Wow, this was such a roller coaster ride. We got him. Yo! Ik heb hem net geland, ouwe!
And then day 6 came around. I had learned 4 new tricks by now. If I wanted to get back on schedule, I had to learn 2 tricks today and a new one tomorrow as well, and my body was starting to feel tired. I decided to go for the frontside disaster late body varial. I'd never tried this trick before, and I'd never seen anyone do this trick before, and it became clear to me why. It's a very difficult trick. I decided to change things up. Getting consistent tuck knees over the spine was also on my list. And I tried this, and fortunately this one did work out. I've been able to do little tuck knees out of quarters, so it was quite an easy trick to master. I wasn't able to control this trick while doing them over the spine at first, but on this day I learned to control this and get this every time, so I added this as my 5th trick on the list. Day 7 consisted of me going to the skate park during the evening. By now I'd almost accepted that I wasn't going to learn 7 new tricks in 7 days, but I decided to try kickflip blunts. However, there were quite some other people skating, and I didn't want to ruin the session by going back and forth over and over again, and I decided to let this one slip. Sorry. I think this is one of the key things I learned from this challenge. The other skaters at the park, they matter. It matters whether there's a bunch of kids running around and that sucks, or whether it's a chill and fun session or an energized session that's perfect for learning tricks, and that really helps you. So all I can say is that you gotta adapt to what's going on, whether you like it or not. If there's a nice session with a bunch of friends, go and have fun. If there's a hyped session, you also need to reap the benefits by focusing on learning a bunch of new tricks. So get it when it's there. At the end of this challenge, I did learn 5 new tricks, so in terms of tricks, I didn't complete it, but the most important part for me was that I focused on learning tricks for 7 days, and I did do that, so I'm a winner in that sense. In the future, I'm definitely going to focus on learning tricks more often. This challenge showed me how fun it is to be getting competitive with yourself. I think it's not something that you want to solely focus on when skating, since skateboarding is more about just having fun than learning tricks, but I do think it's good to focus on this a bit more often because it simply makes skating more fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope it inspired you to learn new tricks. Peace out and skate on.